Good afternoon, friends, and welcome. I'll be sharing live trades and results with you. We'll be evaluating how well these trades work out. We'll be benchmarking this against the S&P 500. I'm expecting to be outperforming it every month. Along the way, I'll also be sharing some lessons I've learned about investments, trading, and building wealth. And of course, the mandatory disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be interpreted as advice. And with that, let's get into it. Well, it's been a while, and I thought we should at least recap on what happened in 2024. I recently spent some time in Shenandoah National Park, and I feel like this waterfall kind of captures 2024 for me. It was just a slow bleeding out of trades that some of them worked and some of them didn't. Here's kind of a recap. Our last trade happened sometime around November, right in this area. And as you can see through the rest of the year, we had a couple of winners. We had some losers. But all in all, I would say our trading performance was not as good as it should be. Let's head over to our tracking sheet and see how we did. Well, I would say we definitely need a new way forward. Here is another shot of Shenandoah National Park. This is at the highest peak in the park, and you can see it's sort of pointing away to a new direction, and here's why. Here's where we left off on our tracking sheet. It was right around 11:18 was our last trade. For the next several trades, like I said, there were some winners, some losers. I'm just going to sum it all up, because I think we completely underperformed. The S&P 500, according to data from Yahoo, had a year-to-date buy and hold of almost 25%. Although we didn't lose any money, we made 9%. It was just completely underperforming. And now you can see a little bit of how we did on our metrics too. We were looking to see about 70% winning trades. We ended up with 65, so we underperformed there. Our custom beat the market factor, where if we're meeting the market, it's a 1. If we're outperforming, it's above 1. We want that to be 1.5, and we ended up here at 0.37. So I would call this a bust of a year. The good news is we didn't lose money, but I think anybody should be able to make money in a market that's moving at close to 25% for the year. So year to date for 2024, I'd say not such good performance. But I would say this, here's some kind of last thoughts. One thing should never be your only game. I think you should have diversified strategies. I think you should have diversification in assets. And this is one strategy that I play, and I thought I would, present, as it generally does pretty well. You can see, year over year, it's done pretty well for the past 3 years, but last year it was just not having any of it. So diversify your strategies, diversify your asset classes and sectors. I think those are all really good ideas, and that will sort of help you weather out the storms like this one, because if this were to happen year over year, this is not a good strategy. So anyway, we'll see what 2025 yields for us. Hopefully it's a lot better, and we'll see what happens on our next trade. That's it for today. How do you think we're doing? Please comment below and let me know how this compares to other investments you've seen. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It should not be taken or interpreted as advice. Until next time.